Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant, and welcome back for more of Let's Play Pokémon SoulSilver. How are you feeling, Duster? Oh, you like the scent of flowers too. Now, before we head out, I'm going to go buy Pokeballs, because we finally have access to them now, and I like to have as many on hand as possible, just because you never know what you might run into. But it's much more economical to buy these things in packs of 10. So I'll try to buy them in 10s as often as I possibly can, because when you do, you get a Premier Ball as an added bonus. Now, a Premier Ball functions the exact same as a Pokeball, except it looks a little bit prettier than a Pokeball. That's the only advantage. It just looks pretty. So I like saving those for very special occasions, and you'll see this guy up here sells some cool little things as well. Mail, which we have absolutely no use for in the game whatsoever. And a Heal Ball, which is much like a Pokeball, except it heals all of your Pokemon's HP when you catch it, so you can use it immediately, without having to heal it up with a potion or something. So that's what's changed at the mart. I don't believe anybody's dialogue changes down here, so we'll just head straight up to Route 30 again and see where we can get to. Weedle, our first Weedle of the LP. This guy has, well, pretty standard for Pokemon games at this point. And one of the most annoying, because this thing likes to poison your Pokemon. You'll only see him in Silver version, though. In Heart Gold, you'll see Caterpie. And Caterpie does not poison you like Weedle does. Poison Sting has a chance to poison, and you know, if it has a chance to poison, more often than not, it will poison you, no matter what the percentages say. Especially if you're on camera. I don't have statistics to support that, I have history to support that. Now, the Apricorns will not come back unless, I think, a day's cycle passes, so if you come back here after midnight, the Apricorn will be back in the tree. Of course, since we were only here a few minutes ago, that Apricorn is not back. Hello, Ledyba! I'm curious to see how powerful Sentret is, so I'll see if I can get a nice KO with you. Though it may have been a better idea to start with the Defense Scroll, since it's probably going to take a while. Holy crap, critical hit! I believe the chances of getting a critical hit are 1 in 16, so those don't happen very often. But when they do, not only do they do double the damage, but they break through any defense buffs that your opponent has on them. So it's like a defense-piercing attack if you manage to land a critical hit. Very nice. And now that these two have finished battling, they'll battle us! Why not? And this is what normal trainer battles are like. Now, you either have a Rattata or a Pidgey, because that's what you two were fighting with before, and I'm very curious to see if the game actually holds true to what they showed on the overworld. So let's see, Quick Attack. Now that's much like your normal attack, except it's a priority move. So if my opponent uses Quick Attack and I just use a normal attack, my opponent will strike with it first. Just like he did there. Even though he's slower than me, since he used Quick Attack, he'll go first. However, he's still a weak rat, which is why he lost. And Duster's going to gain a level, hooray! Wow, it's windy outside. It's probably the coldest day of the year it's been so far. 64 Pokédollars. I said I would accept everybody's phone number. I suppose I should. And let's battle you and your Pidgey, since that's what you were fighting his Rattata with. So you better have a Pidgey, or I'm going to be very upset with you. Youngster Mikey. There we go. Looks like you've got 2 Pidgeys there. Now, since this thing's only level 2 and I'm now up to level 5, I should be doing massive damage and not have to switch in to replace you, Duster. Moron. Shouldn't be calling Duster a moron. Duster is awesome! Look at him standing on his tail! He's so awesome! You have a Rattata too? But I don't want to risk Duster getting knocked out here, because if he runs out of his hit points, he doesn't get any of the experience. The only thing is, I might want to heal up Crunch before he takes a turn, because it'll take at least 2 hits to knock out this Rattata, and if he does a couple of quick attacks like that, there's no way I'll be able to... See, that's the risk you always run if you don't heal up the turn before. You never know if your opponent's going to get a critical hit. Thank you, Justice! He gets a crit, I get a crit. Yeah, well, you lost now. Tough cookies. As well you should. I mean to talk to these guys after I battle them. And this is the first time I've ever done that before, so it's going to be annoying for me to remember to do that. But since both of my Pokemon are fairly weakened by those 2 battles, I'm going to go heal up and be right back. And from now on, if you hear me say I'm going to run back for a quick heal at the Pokemon Center, I will be doing exactly what I did just there. Kakuna! First Kakuna of the LP. This is the evolved form of Weedle. And this thing, since we're finding it in the wild, will not be doing anything to attack us. The only move it knows is Harden, which raises its physical defense and is going to make it really annoying to knock out here. But since he poses no threat to Duster, I'm just going to let Duster knock him out, no matter how long it takes, and I'll meet you after the battle. A good 40 experience points, Duster getting to the level there. And now we're ready to proceed further up north, past these 2 and their idiotic ways. You look too cute to be a trainer. Darn right. Oh, hey Duster, how do you feel after beating that Kakuna? You do? Go on, Duster, I'm right behind you. Duster? Okay, I'll do it. I get what that means. Hi, buddy! Yes, you did. Thank you for not using your net. Everybody's favorite, the bug catchers. They catch bugs. But now that Duster is finally getting some levels, I'd like to see him get on the action a little bit. String Shot reduces your speed. If you have a lower speed than your opponent will go first. That's what determines your turn order. Not necessarily turn order, since a turn consists of you going and then them going, and then them going and then you going. But who goes first is based on your speed. And your speed buffs or debuffs will stay with you until your Pokemon switches out. Which is very important to know. Because if you have a lot of speed debuffs on you, like Duster does now, it may not be a bad idea to switch in somebody faster just so they can go first. Since you're going to be battling a lot of trainers back-to-back in this game, it's nice to make sure that your damage doesn't accumulate between battles, because otherwise you're going to be healing a lot between them, and you're going to be running out of money fairly quickly. Although I've never found money to be much of an issue in these games, really the biggest issue you would have with money is because I'm saving 25% of my earnings with my mom. So I only get to keep 3/4 of the money that I earn, and early on in the game, I find that to be... I mean, I like to be really safe with how many items and healing things I'm carrying with me at a time, so I spend most of my money on those and the remaining money on Pokeballs, so I have, like, next to no money early on. But once you get further into the game... First, Bellsprout! Grass Poison type. Not very useful, but you may want to keep it for a trade that we can access when we get to the next city. Because the Pokemon that you get from that will be fairly helpful in the first gym. Me, I choose not to do that, but it's up to you. That's the beautiful thing about these Pokemon games. You can make your party however you like and play it however you like. No 2 players really have the same experience. And Duster is really close to gaining a level. Dark Cave. Maybe we should go explore it. Why not? Let's go into Dark Cave. I see, it Dunsparce. Now, graphical glitch number 2 of this game is dark areas. Not only do you get the little crosshairs in the middle of the screen. Zubat! No one likes Zubats! This is really the only Pokemon I'll be running away from whenever possible. But you can also see the borders on all 4 sides of the screen, so it makes these places fairly easy to navigate. Go away from me, Zubat! I don't think I'll be able to run away from you, since you're faster than me. You should be. Zubats are fairly quick, and I try not to run away from them if they're almost the same speed as me, because it's very difficult to run away from these things. Now, Leech Life is one of those moves that will drain your energy, so if your opponent has less than max HP, Leech Life will take a little bit of your HP and give them more back. So even though it's a fairly weak attack, I lose 1 HP and it gains 1 HP back. Now, most of the moves that absorb HP are not very strong, at least not until very late in the game. But some of them can be fairly helpful, and Duster's level 7 now. And he learned Quick Attack. Now before we move on, I'm going to head into the screen here and change over the order of his attacks, because Quick Attack has a base 40 power, which Scratch does as well, and it also has the same accuracy. However, Quick Attack, unless another Pokemon with a higher speed uses a priority attack as well, this will always go first, which is very important. At least most of the time. It's very good to have a priority attack if your opponent is very close to dying and you just want to kill him as soon as possible. Priority attacks are awesome for that. Now, before we leave, hello, another graphical glitch that only this emulator has. Sometimes you won't be able to see your character, but it's dark, so you shouldn't be able to anyway. Before we leave, I would like to run into one particular Pokemon that you can only run into 1% of the time. Crunch gained a level there. But anyway, I'll just meet you guys when I run into it. There we go! Dunsparce! Everybody's favorite something. I don't really know how to describe Dunsparce other than derp. But he's so adorable. And you can only find him, I believe he's only available in the Dark Cave, although you may be able to find him more frequently later on. But he's a 1% find right now, and there really isn't anything to say about Dunsparce. He doesn't offer anything in terms of being super strong or super defensive or having a wonderful move pool. He's just Dunsparce. And since Sentret already fulfills my normal type kind of niche, I don't really have a need for Dunsparce on my team, so I'll just take the experience and be on my way. And Duster gained a level while I was looking for this guy anyway, just letting you guys know. If he was level 8 now and not level 8 before, that's why. But since we took a little bit of a beating in there, I'm going to start using some of my potions here. So you can access them in the medicine pocket of your bag, and use them on your Pokemon to heal 20 HP each. Fairly nice recovery early on in the game, but they'll be outclassed very soon. And another potion for our troubles. So let's head on over here. Yes, you would be very easy to catch if you were asleep. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But this isn't a green apricorn, this is a black apricorn! It serves a very similar but different use. And down here is another item. A Pokeball! How nice. I'm not going to be screaming every item when I get them, I'm just kind of excited today. And now that we have a nice chunk of experience under our belt, we should be able to take off these trainers fairly easily, especially if they only have level 2 Caterpie. Now, I don't like speeding up or cutting out trainer battles just because that's what Pokemon is all about. And I feel I'd be shortchanging the game if I didn't show these off. Plus, if I sped them up, I wouldn't be talking over them because I can't talk at half speed while, you know, doing this live. And since I am doing the commentary live, it would be pretty silly to try to talk over sped up portions because what makes up the game is this kind of thing, these Pokemon battles, and if I cut out every single wild encounter and sped up every single trainer battle, then it would just be me walking around the overworld, and that's pretty silly. There will be a few select trainer battles that are really, really annoying that I'd like to speed up, but aside from those, I plan on keeping most of them in. Just because it's not a Pokemon game if you don't leave in the Pokemon battles. Now, a couple of things about the graphics that I'd like to point out here within the battle is that when you're switching Pokemon, for the most part, you'll see a ghost version of them behind them, like the slightly taller version of the Pokemon on the field. And here you see them a little bit stretched out vertically. That's the emulator, that's not the game itself. In the game, they look right side, but here, they're stretched a little bit. I can't really explain why. And for the most part, if you're viewing an animation that has some level of transparency, like the scratch attack, that instead of the background being transparent, it translates to black. So if the attacks look blacker than they should, that's why. Just wanted to point that out before we got to the next city. Sure, another phone number, why not? I love bug catchers, apparently. Now, most of the guys who will call you generally don't have anything interesting to say or do, but a few of them will give you items, a few of them will alert you to swarms of Pokemon that aren't normally there, and later on you can actually rematch them with higher-level Pokemon. I'm guessing it was a Geodude. So we finally made it to Violet City! And Lyra's apparently here too. It's been a while since we've seen you. And we get the Versus Recorder, which serves absolutely no purpose in the main game, but it can record Pokemon battles. I'll explain that when it becomes relevant. It won't be for a while. And here we are, Violet City. Now before we explore this place, I'll probably leave that for next time. Let's head into the Pokemon Center, talk to the few NPCs that are relatively important. Very important. I'll explain that tomorrow, or whenever the next time I upload this is. Why am I suddenly becoming... Giant is speaking in third person again! So much important stuff that I'm breezing over because I really just want to end the episode. Why am I not doing that yet? Primo. TV show. Show me show. We're actually having a battle inside the Pokemon Center. Oh no, we're not. I don't want to be on TV. I have more important things to do. Yeah, I guess I'll do that off-screen because I feel bad for you. Hey, there's a dude up there, too. I don't think I've ever talked to you before, dude. I like the exit trainer. Okay, I think that's for setting up all of the... I know so little about... I've never actually, battled anyone in the 4th generation, nor do I have any interest in doing that, really, but I imagine that's what it's used for. Train wreck of the end of the episode! I will see you guys next time. This is UniversalGiant, and Centret, what are you doing? He's yawning. It's time for him to sleep! Let him sleep, goddammit!